Oh, yeah.
Sorry, it just sounds like quite the roller coaster ride.
Oh, yeah. It was.
And with the same producer-director, you went on to do Truant Cafe.
Yes. And Truant Cafe is a much different film. It's basically two guys talking in a restaurant about life. And it has a few interesting twists throughout the movie. And it's shot in a very different way because the way it's edited, it's a lot of split screen. So it's very nicely edited. And it helps the story flow much better. And it has a lot of takes that, you flash back to the past, you flash to the future. What will happen if we do this? So it's a very uniquely edited film. And I think it'll do quite well on the independent circuit.
Of those two top projects you've been on, which is your favorite?
Meatball is special because it's the first film I've ever been in. And it will always be. And even though technically it's not quite there, it's something that I have so many memories of being on set. I believe the first time we were on set, none of us had ever done a film or any feature-length film, not even MJ the director. So it was like, hey, none of us know what we're doing. We were all, I think, a little scared. And you know what? By the second weekend when we were shooting, I think we gelled pretty well as a cast. And it's evident, you see in the beginning, the angles used are a little more raw and the acting is a little bit, by the second weekend, you see that, like the second part of the movie, the acting gets much better, the camera use gets much better.
How long did it take to shoot?
We shot it in about roughly 3 weekends, and then we did some smaller takes throughout, let's say the next month or so, 2 months. And in total, I'd say total hours on set was about 50 hours. So we shot a feature in 50 hours, which is unheard of. Normally it takes months, 3 months to shoot a feature at, 15 hours a day. But, we can't afford to do that, so the same thing with Truant Cafe. We shot that in, once again, 2 weekends, the major work. And me and my co-actor, at one point, for the master shot, we went through 25 pages of script in one take. So, we would do the take, 25 pages straight of script is a long time. And then it was like, okay, take another take of that, and then another take from this point forward. So that might be some kind of record, I don't know.
It'd be interesting to find out. You mentioned that, where were these shot?
Meatball was shot in Montreal, and Truant Cafe was primarily shot in Toronto, with some scenes in Montreal, and one scene at Port Hope, I believe, in Toronto, out in the water on Lake Ontario.
Where else have you traveled to?
I've recently been to LA, Los Angeles, Beverly Hills. I went and met with some agencies down there. I took a demo of my best work. Various work that I've done for in Truant Cafe, Meatball Story, and Cinema Fix, and a few other projects I worked on. Made a demo. I also cut some other scenes in there, like stereotypical me playing the bad guy Italian, a bookie was my money type deal, things like that. Put that in my demo reel. Went to LA with it. Met with 17 agencies, the top agencies in Los Angeles. Most of them shunned me away. 7 of them took my demo reel and headshot and said, we'll see what we can do with this. So hopefully it works out.
If you could go back in time and give yourself some advice, what would it be?
In terms of acting or myself?
Both.
Both. Well, in terms of acting, which is the easier one, I would say start it sooner. You've always liked to do it. And I would go see myself when I was like 8 and say, this is what you like to do, or maybe even earlier than that, and say, get into it, go talk to your parents about it, and start taking classes, maybe around the age of 8 or 10,
Is that because you feel your age has worked against you?
No, I would have liked to have started it sooner, because, it would have given me more time, I think, to break into it, and, given myself more time to adjust to, the lifestyle I'm leading. When it comes to giving myself advice as a person, I would go back and tell myself, just do it. Don't be afraid of anything. Don't waste time on what if. What if this never happens, or what if this happens? Don't waste time with what if. I say this to anyone. Don't waste time with what if until it happens. Be aware that it could happen, but don't waste time on it until it does happen, and then deal with it.
I'd like to ask you about your road from going from starting to be an actor to now being a member of Actra. Is that correct?
Yes.
What had to happen for that?
Becoming a member of Actra is kind of like a catch-22. You can go and audition for an Actra role, but they can't hire you for the Actra part unless they've screened already so many actors in advance for your part, and were unsatisfied with them. At that point there, you have to buy a permit to work on set, and you become an Actra apprentice. You need 6 permits. Unless you're a minority, then you need 3 before you become a full Actra member and get full benefits.
Are you considered a minority?
No. Minorities, I believe, are Asians, Africans. Certain people qualify for minority.
Italians don't?
No. So you need to do that process. You need to get an agent first. I suggest go out, do some work, anything, church basement theater, anything. Try to get some film work done, even if it's a small part, anything that you can show an agent. Before you go to an agent, have headshots ready. And if an agent charges you money for anything more than a headshot, they're full of it. Like, don't. If they say, oh, you need $200 to represent you for the year or whatever, don't. A good agency will charge you nothing, especially if you have your own headshots done. They'll even tell you to go get them done. And then they only make money when you make money. They don't make money if you don't make money. It's usually 15% cut plus GST whenever you work, 'cause they have to pay the GST to the government. And that's it. If they're charging you more, get a new agent. Don't waste time with them.
So that's generally a general warning for anybody who wants to become an actor.
Yes, there's a lot of casting agents, especially if they're advertising in the newspaper, then they're really full of it. They're not going to ask you for money up front or take these courses to learn and they're making money off of it. No. They don't make any money off of you unless you make money for them.
If someone wants to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
I have a website. It's called AnthonyColace.com.
Can you spell that, please?
Yeah, AnthonyColace.com. You can email me at Anthony@AnthonyColace.com.
And your website features what exactly?
At the moment, it's still under construction. But right now, it has my headshot that I'm currently using and my resume of everything I've been on. It will have segment clips, like, Truant Cafe. You can go click on it, and it'll show you clips from Truant Cafe, Meatball Story clips, various different headshots of myself. Yeah.
Let's talk about future aspirations. Where do you see yourself going in the future?
I'd like to go to Hollywood and start making Hollywood productions. I would like to, obviously, I see myself always acting no matter what. Even if I decide to take another career path, I'll always do acting for fun. If MJ ever says, hey, let's do a little film or something, I'll always do it. But my goal right now, and even for the next 2 years, is to really break the U.S. market, whether it's either film or television.
So in about 10 years from now, you want to be living in Hollywood?
Yeah. I went to L.A. recently, and I liked it. I found it alright. I was staying in Beverly Hills, so I had a pretty good time, and I found it alright.
Any particular companies you'd want to work for down there?
I've always liked Paramount. But I don't know why, and it's just I've always liked Paramount, Universal. Probably those two.
Anthony, it's been absolutely wonderful having you on set here at Frank Talks. And one last time, can we have your email address as well as your website address for people who wish to get in contact with you?
Yes, my email address is Anthony@AnthonyColace.com. That's AnthonyColace.
Any part that you would not accept?
No. I'll do pretty well. Within the acting realm, I'll do whatever I have to do, yeah.
All right. Well, we definitely wish you luck.
Thank you, Frank.
You're listening to Frank Talks, Pleasures, and Lifestyles.
Frank Talks is sponsored in part by Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test, a man's guide to the emotional needs of women. Ladies, do you want the man in your life to understand you on your level? Do you want your man to be able to listen to and address all of your emotional needs? Show him how much you really want your relationship to be the best it can be. Everything Out of Her Mouth is a Test makes the perfect gift. The book, written by a man, for men, is endorsed by every woman that reads it. This book is a guide for men to understand exactly what a woman means when she speaks. Is that worth changing your life forever? Buy this book at franktalks.com now.